What's up, and welcome back to another episode here at the Melrish Studio. And today, we'll be discussing how you can have a successful campaign shoot for your brand or business. So recently, we have done the successful campaign shoot for Jardin de Parfum. This is our second campaign shoot with them, and this time we decided to shoot indoors. We planned to originally shoot in the Maldives. Well, although we want to really shoot in the Maldives because yes, that's going to be a dream destination. However, due to logistics and of course cost to fly all the equipment, models, and all the crew, they have decided to shoot in Dubai. But guess what? This is the summer in Dubai and it comes up to a boiling 50 degrees Celsius. And who can withstand shooting in the outdoors with this heat? So the team decided to shoot in our studio. Here are some clips of what transpired, how we planned the shoot, and how we executed the shoot. So the team of Jardin de Parfum brought the plants in, brought the models in, and for us to execute the shoot and make it look outdoorsy, we decided to rent out some extra equipment, extra lights to make sure the shoot looked natural. So we tried our best. It's not 100% perfect, but you rate what do you think about our shoot. And here is some of the clips that we have produced for Jardin. Before, including Mickey RG and Jardin de Parfum for Abella and a lot more companies like Nestle and Arabian Adventures. So how do you execute a successful brand shoot? So if you're planning to shoot a campaign, a brand launch, or a new offer, here are tips for you to successfully produce great visuals for your campaign. Tip number one, it's all about the planning. Make sure that you plan ahead way before the shoot. So for us, whenever we sit with the agency, they already have a plan in mind. They already have the look. So we just help with the logistics. Is it possible or not? And what we can improve on based on their plan. So they have the objectives. Make sure you plan out your goals. What is the feel and the tone of the campaign shoot that you like? And before we go to the logistic parts, you have to define all this. Who's the target audience? What is the feel and the emotions that you want to evoke from your campaign shoot? References will also help. So this will help you and your team, especially your production team, visualize the kind of look that you want for your campaign. Once you have your mood board and your plan and your objectives laid out and discussed with your team, now you have to plan the logistics. Logistics includes casting, what are the props required, and of course, where do you want to shoot. So some locations in Dubai will require you to have permits, and the agencies will have to have special permits with DTCM. We are licensed DTCM agency, so we can easily get location permit shoots. Another thing to consider when you're shooting in a public space is that there's no other people that you have to capture in your shoot, because this is something that you might have to deal with afterwards and might cause complications for your campaign shoot. Next thing is models casting. Sometimes casting a model for your campaign shoot is easier and hassle-free if you go through agencies. Although of course it's gonna cost more, but you know, with all the model release contracts and all that, it might save you all this hassle, because then you have also a large selection of models you can choose from versus you sourcing your own model. But if you want your friend to star in your own brand's campaign shoot, make sure to ask them to sign a model release form, because you don't know, maybe one of these days you might have like a slight argument and then she might even ask you for compensation, which you might not be able to pay, just in case. You know, you have to think about all the just in case possibilities for your campaign shoot. Next is props. So props, like what we did for Jardin de Parfum, they wanted to make it look like it's a real jungle. So guess what? We had 2 truckloads of plants coming our studio. Good thing our doors are big enough, our space is big enough to accommodate all those plants here. Another logistic that we had to deal with was the birds. So we had to cast live birds in our shoot. Some of the birds, the special cast, flew up to the ceiling, and there were some glitches like that we had to wait for them to go down. We had to look for a long pole for them to climb down to, but those are just minor glitches, because if you have experts on board like the bird handlers, they were here, so they were able to call the birds, and then everything went well in the end. Another thing you want to avoid is being on the shoot and there are missing props that are required. So far so good. None of our brand campaign shoots that we've done face that issue because all of the props that is required is there. So one more thing, for you to have a very successful campaign shoot is for you to have a detailed shot list. So shot lists are very important because it will avoid you to overshoot your time. Especially your models, your photographers, and your crew, they all have precious time, and sometimes they are paid by the hour. And if you don't have a detailed shot list and you're not going to be focused, you might be shooting unnecessary clips that will not be required for your output. And one of the final tips for you to have successful brand campaign shoot, and this is mostly for your production team, is for them to have all the equipment required ready, and if they need backup equipment, it should be on hand as well. So for us, when we did the campaign shoot here in our studio, it was quite easy for us to arrange all the equipment because it's in our studio. But imagine, what if you're far away in the desert, let's say in Maldives, the shoot was done in Maldives. What if we just brought enough equipment and then we did not bring enough batteries, or we did not bring the right lens? Then we're in trouble, because right in the middle of nowhere, and then there's nowhere for us to get the equipment. So that's important for you to make sure the logistic and the pre-production part nailed before you do your campaign shoot. So sometimes when you see a campaign shoot, you say like the shoot is gonna be done within a day. But the most important part for a campaign shoot is the pre-production, and it takes days and days for preparation to plan the storyboard, to plan the mood board, to plan the logistics. Post-production and production will be easier if the pre-production part is nailed. So I hope you got value from this shoot, and I hope you enjoyed looking at the behind the scenes of our latest campaign shoot. Please hit the subscribe button and like this video. Thank you so much, and so to see you in the next episode.